This is a family about to be torn apart. The Hickmans of Fritham in 1911. Within 6 months, 3 of the people you can see would be dead. Leonard emigrated to Canada in 1907, tempted by adverts like this that appeared in the Romsey Advertiser. The breadbasket of the empire needed farmers, and he grabbed the opportunity with both hands.
Leonard was, I think, a person to get up and go. And so he went. He was 20 at the time, and I think everybody was looking at these ads, and emigration was a big feature of the times.
This was the land of plenty as far as Leonard Hickman was concerned. He came here to Eden in Manitoba in the Canadian prairies, and as you can see, there's plenty of space to farm. Leonard found work on Harold Honeyman's farm and settled into his new life. He enjoyed hunting and got engaged to his boss's daughter, Margaret. At Christmas in 1911, Leonard came home so full of enthusiasm, he persuaded 2 of his brothers, Lewis and Stanley, to join him, along with 4 friends from school in Bramshaw, Percy Deacon, Ambrose Hood, Charles Davis and William Dibdin. They were never meant to travel on the Titanic. A miners' strike meant their original sailing was cancelled, but the White Star Line moved them onto the pride of its fleet and upgraded them to second class.
They had smoking rooms, and they second class did pretty well for themselves. It looks as if they did anyhow on the Titanic. So they would have been living the life of Riley.
We don't know how those 7 young men spent their final moments, but Barbara thinks it's likely they were together. As details of the tragedy filtered through, the Hickman family's loss was front-page news. Memorial plaques honouring all 7 men were put up in churches in Fritham and in Bramshaw. But what happened next was a mystery and became a taboo subject for more than a generation.
It was never spoke about. If we asked questions, you could get an answer, perhaps, and that was about as far as it went.
So it's been a mystery to you all these years?
It's been a mystery until quite recently.
Nearly a fortnight after Titanic sank, the recovery vessel, the Mackay Bennett, picked up body number 256. In the coat pocket, a membership card of the Independent Order of Foresters belonging to Leonard. The body was brought here to Neepwa, the nearest town to Eden. Jim and Emily Smith, friends of Leonard's who'd emigrated years before, travelled to the funeral with Harry Honeyman. They caught the train, but it was late. By the time they arrived, this church was already beginning to fill with mourners. Quickly, they went into a back room where the coffin was so they could identify Leonard's body. Then they opened the lid, but it wasn't Leonard inside. It was Lewis. Under pressure, they decided to press ahead with the funeral service anyway. Writing to the Hickman family back in Fritham, Emily Smith broke the news of the mix-up.
It was not Leonard's body, it was Lewis's. And by that time, we could not change it. The people had come for the service, and we was very much worried. The clergyman and Mr. Honeyman and Jim thought it best for the service to go on as arranged.
Lewis was buried as Leonard, the furthest west of anyone who died on the Titanic. The headstone was eventually changed, but there's still a spelling mistake on it.
It's a poetic injustice that Lewis never got to enjoy our country. The other sad part is, too, that Leonard never did make it back to a country he loved so much, and he left a broken heart, and he went back to England, and we'll never see her again.
Margaret Honeyman eventually got married and had children, but she secretly kept a picture of Leonard in a locket. She also kept his engagement ring, a lasting reminder of a future that never was.